This movie is unique to me in the sense that the more that I think about it, the more that I dislike it over time. A Predator ship crash lands on Earth, is discovered by Quinn McKenna and his team, and the team is then killed off, with Quinn McKenna being the sole survivor, and gains the Predator's technology, which he then sends off to his child, which makes sense. So the military team that's formed in this movie consists of Boyd Holbrook, who plays Quinn McKenna. He's a Special Forces sniper who struggles to connect with his autistic child. Devante Rhodes plays Nebraska Williams, who smokes and is the cool one. Keegan-Michael Key plays Coyle, who is the extra crazy one, and who is also friends with Baxley. Thomas Jane plays Baxley, who is a veteran who has PTSD and Tourette's. Alfie Allen plays Lynch, who has no character. And Augusto Aguilera plays Nettles, who is a Christian. Other characters who aren't military includes Olivia Munn, who plays Dr. Casey Brackett. She is a evolutionary scientist. And Jacob Tremblay, who plays Rory McKenna, who is autistic and knows how to use Predator technology. So you can tell by my descriptions of these characters that you will not give a crap about any of them. The acting is what you would expect in this movie. This movie focuses way more on action and trying to be funny as opposed to having entertaining characters. Olivia Munn is particularly bad. Like, a lot of her lines were very awkwardly delivered, and she got way more screen time than I thought she would. Like, it's odd, these characters don't really have any character. They only have like one little gimmick that I just went through when I explained it that defines their character, like having one attribute, being insane, has PTSD and Tourette's. Well, with Baxley's Tourette's, I don't think they understand how it works, really, with Tourette's. Maybe I don't either, but he only has Tourette's when they're trying to be funny. He doesn't say it in places where you wouldn't expect it or be completely out of place. It's only when whoever made this movie thought it was actually going to be funny. As I said, you don't care about any of these characters. I certainly didn't. This movie tries way too hard to be a comedy. It's a lot of franchises and movies are trying to do this nowadays because Marvel's been doing it, where they insert a lot more comedy into their movies. This one is essentially trying to do that, and it does not work. I will admit there are a couple of funny lines in the movie, but they are far and few in between. Action's a tricky one in this movie. It's as gory and over the top as you would expect in a Predator movie. People are getting decapitated, they explode, limbs are getting chopped off, people get sliced in half, you see guts, there's blood everywhere. The body count is really high, so as opposed to previous movies, but I guess this one is going for more quantity than quality. But in saying that, because there is so much happening and it's happening often, you get tired of it. It's just people getting killed in ridiculous ways. Well, not ridiculous, but over-the-top ways, over and over and over and over again. And towards the end of the movie, you just stop caring. And it's not as entertaining anymore, and it starts to drag out. For the smaller Predator, or just the regular Hunter Predator, however you want to call it, they do use a suit instead of CGI for most of the scenes with it, except when it comes to some action and it getting thrown around and stuff like that. For most scenes, they do use the Predator suit, which I thought looked fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of using practical effects. But the Ultimate Predator is all CGI. And on CGI, the CGI ranges from okay to pretty bad. It's passable at some places, but when it's bad, it's pretty bad. For the action is very fast-paced. There's people getting killed left, right, and center, and it cuts between them very quickly. One person will die, and another, and another, and another, and you don't really get time to absorb what's happening. Pacing-wise, this movie jumps around a lot, especially in the first half where it's going between all the different characters. Like every couple of minutes, it would jump to another location, then jump to another location, then jump to another location, and which could be a bit hard to keep track of, but they do that thing where it has the text at the bottom and tells you where they are so you have some idea. And the final confrontation with the Predator, which equates to the final act, so the last half an hour of the movie, it really dragged on for me. It's just so much more over the top than than the rest of the movie, and because of all the action that's happened before it, you're just getting tired of it. And then the last half hour really dragged. Pretty much lost interest at that point. As a sequel, it is a pretty poor effort, I feel. Comparing it to the previous Predator movies, as in the original Predator, Predator 2, and Predators, this one, I believe, is the worst of them. I'm not including Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I'm not including that, just Predator solo movies. And it's not the best one. It is the worst one by far to me. There are some callbacks to the original movies. I can think of two off the top of my head, which are lines. Olivia Munn, when she sees the Predator for the first time, she says, "You are one beautiful motherfucker," as opposed to Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, "You're one ugly motherfucker." And another one where the main character, McKenna or whatever his name is, he says, "Get to the chopper," but it's not a helicopter, it's chopper bikes he's referring to. And these are as terrible and awkwardly placed as you could expect. Like, I get they're trying to have callbacks to the original, but they're so awkward. I hate them. Pros are over-the-top action is entertaining, at least for the first half. There were some funny lines, I must admit. Yeah, that's it for pros. Just poor acting and characters you don't care about at all. The pacing, the editing, the cinematography is garbage. And it changes a lot of the lore that I didn't expect. I know what you're thinking. You didn't talk about that in the review at all. With regards to how this movie changes up the lore, I think I might do a separate video to that. Like, not just cover it in spoilers, because there is quite a bit I want to talk about. So I'm rating this movie 4 out of 10. I could really only recommend you watch this if you just want to watch dumb, over-the-top action, or if you're a fan of the Predator universe. I feel people that are not fans of the Predator movies are not gonna enjoy this very much. I'm a fan of the Predator movies, and I thought this was terrible. But yeah, if you're not, it's gonna be even worse for you, and you probably should not watch it. So just my review on the Predator that came out. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.